Hey, this is your girl, msyelladiva. I am bringing you a new episode, a new show, a new episode of Dexter Resurrection. I love Dexter. I love him. I love him. I love him. And I'm so happy that he has been resurrected. Okay. So it is season 1, episode 1 of Beating Heart. Okay. All right. If you're new here, welcome, 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 welcome. I'm excited. Welcome. Okay. We do reviews here, okay? And if you're returning, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. All right. Give me a thumbs up. Like and share and comment and subscribe to my channel, and we will begin. All right. So, they revived Dexter, put the little paddles on him. Okay, yeah, we put the little paddles on him, honey. They revived Dexter. He is sent to rehab because he was in a coma for 10 weeks. And so he got to learn how to walk and talk again. So they sent him to rehab. So where he's getting visited from all his kills in Miami. So Arthur came. Okay. Miguel came. Miguel said, but when you tried to be normal, okay, because Dexter, he tried to be normal. That's when your friends and family got killed, and then he was in the graveyard, and they showed Deborah Morgan, they showed Rita Morgan, and they showed James Dokes. Okay, yeah, all right, he coming later though. So Harrison is sleeping in a hotel because Harrison is Dexter's son. Okay. And he lives in New York City. Okay. And Dexter son shot him and sent him into a coma for 10 weeks. Okay. So he got shot by his own son. Okay. But Dexter told him to kill him, okay? But he didn't kill him, but Harrison doesn't know that he didn't kill him, but Harrison is in New York City working at a hotel, okay? And he's sleeping at a hotel because he's homeless, okay? All right. So, but he did pass his GED because he dropped out of high school, and he did pass his GED. He got a friend, I don't forgot her name, but I'll mention that later in the episode. I don't forgot her name, but yeah, he got a friend who's in the hotel with him. Anyway, so he sees a frequent guest that comes to the hotel. His name is Ryan. Okay, and so Ryan, he gets drugs for Ryan. And he gets, other things for Ryan. And so Ryan said, can you fix my watch? He said, he took the watch off. He said, well, can you fix my watch? Because it's not telling time. Can you get somebody to fix it? He said, yeah. So he gave him his watch. And he gives him his drugs and whatever. So, but then he had a flashback to the snow and the blood. And then all of a sudden he came out of it. And then he was in a hallway, and so this lady came, and she was like, can you show me where the emergency care conference is? And so he's like, yeah, I can show you. And he said, she said, by the way, my name is Shauna. And he said, my name is Harrison. And so then they part ways. Okay. So Dexter's dad visits him. Dexter's dad is a ghost. Okay, you can't see him, but he always around with Dexter. And so Dexter was telling him that he doesn't have a lot to live for. And he said, Dad was like, you got a son. You need to live for your son. He said, I made a lot of mistakes in my life. He said, but the one mistake I didn't make was having you. And so Dexter said, well, I tried to mold Harrison into my image, and that didn't work. And so but he said, well, your brother didn't have a father, So he's trying to say, your brother didn't have a father, and look how he turned out. But Dexter said, yeah, but he ain't have a mother too, cause Dexter's father killed his mama. And so, but his dad was like, "Listen, Harrison don't have a mother too because of you. Okay, so don't throw stones. Okay, when you live in a glass house. Okay, your his mama died because of you too. Okay, so don't start none, won't be none. Okay." So then his dad fades away, and then Dokes come. Here we go. Surprise, motherfucker. Surprise, motherfucker. Let me see it again. That's funny. Surprise, motherfucker. I love Dokes. Okay. And he did say that. Surprise, motherfucker. Okay. And so, Dokes was telling him that, he was like, so, Dexter was like, yeah, you gonna come tell me that I'm a creep motherfucker. And that's how he said it, like that. I'm a creep motherfucker. So he was like, he said, no. He said, I was wrong about you. He said, deep down inside that you have a kernel, just a kernel, just a little kernel of good, okay? Okay? Just a little kernel. And he said, and Doak said, and if you don't go to your son, then you will be a creep motherfucker. Okay? A creep motherfucker, okay? Okay. So he need to go to his son. So he, like I said, he came out of coma for 10 weeks. So Harrison, later on in the evening, Harrison tries to help Ryan with this girl. Okay, and he said that that my wife had too much to drink. Okay, so Harrison knows that's Shauna first and foremost, so he knows that's Shauna and that's not his wife. And so, but he said, help me get her to my room. And so he helps him, but he's still, he's still weary about, what's going to transpire when he get to the room. So he helps him to the room. And so when he walking away, and all you hear was, no, don't do that, stop. And so he break into the room. He said, this is not your wife, this is Shauna. And so they get in a fight. And he said, well, I won't tell anybody if you don't, I just want her to, to go back to her room. And so, like I said, they get into a fight, and then and so when they was getting into a fight, then he said that she's not the first, and she won't be the last, and there's always somebody. Okay. So Harrison knows that he's a serial rapist. Okay. So he can't let him go now, because he is a serial rapist. And if he let him go, he gonna go rape somebody else. And then he gonna feel bad because he keep raping people and he ain't stop him. So he stopped him with the toilet seat cover, smacked him in the head, and smacked him in the head again, and then crashing on his head, honey. He gone. Okay. Him gone. Okay. Him gone. Okay. Okay. And he ain't even upstairs. He downstairs. Okay. Him gone. Okay. So he takes Shauna to her room, and then he cleans up the room and takes the body in the little cart that they carry the food on. Takes him in the down to the kitchen, where he knows the kitchen closes at 1:00 in the morning. So he takes him down to the kitchen where there's nobody there, and he chops him up in 9 pieces, just like his daddy. Okay, just like his daddy, and cuts him up and throws him in the trash, just like his daddy. Throw him in black garbage bags, just like his daddy. Okay, all right. And then Harrison throws up because he really not that dude. He really not that dude like that. So Dexter in rehab. He trying to learn how to walk. And so the sanitation worker, when he was at the landfill or whatever, a leg pop out. So they called the police. And so what his name? Detective Wallace and Oliva come. Okay, so Wallace is the female and Oliva is the male. Okay, but the female is running it. Okay, so the female um investigates listening to the Bee Gees. Okay, staying alive, staying alive, ah 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 ah, staying alive. Okay, yeah, she listened to the Bee Gees to concentrate. Okay, so they find out that the garbage came from the hotel. So that's where their next stop is. All right, Angel visits Dexter. Angel Batista is one of his co-workers that he was in Miami with. Yeah, so he visit Dexter in rehab, and Dexter told Angel how Deb died. That he took her into he took her on a boat. It was a hurricane. The boat capsized and she drowned. So that would be so if Deb want to come back, then she could come back because she drowned, but there wasn't nobody. So she may come back if we don't know, but it's left open for her to come back. It ain't left open for Ryan to come back, cause him dead. Okay, anyway, also Dexter was going by Jim Lindsay, and so Angel was like, I spoke at your memorial, and then then the chief of police, your girlfriend Angela, called me and said that you were the Bay Harbor butcher, and then your girlfriend shot you. But then when he came and he visited her, then she backtracked on all of that, like he's not the Bay Harbor butcher, I didn't shoot him or whatever. So whatever the case may be, but he said Maria was sure that you were the Bay Harbor butcher, and I was like, well, what you getting at, Angel? Just ask if he the Bay Harbor butcher. Stop, and don't. What you getting at, man? Okay. But whatever the case may be, Angel said, listen, I signed your death certificate, but I have destroyed that, so you are officially alive, so you can go by Dexter Morgan. Yeah, so he can keep tabs on you. That's all that is. He gonna keep tabs on you. That's why he can go by he wants you to go by Dexter Morgan again. So anyway, like I said, the police found that the stuff is coming from the hotel. And Harrison is seeing the ghost of Ryan. Okay. Bloody Ryan. Okay. So Dexter is in physical therapy. And then the physical therapist saying that they found a body cut up in 9 pieces in New York City. So Dexter was like, uh-oh. Maybe that could be my son. I don't know. Because, he don't really know where he at. And so... But so then his dad was like, you need to go to him. But the therapist was like, she said, these crazy white men, they're always serial killers. And then she said, oh, no offense. And he said, no offense taken. I was just like, oh, you said that to a white man? She said, but they're always serial killers. But anyway, so his dad told him that he needs to go and find his son because, if the NYPD is investigating the case, then he may be in trouble. So a guy next door died in rehab. Okay, so Dexter steals his truck, this camo truck, and he tried to escape, but Batista came back to visit him. So he out in the waiting room because the visiting hours don't start till 11. And I think he showed up at 9 or 10 or whatever. So the visiting hours don't start till 11. So he trying to escape. So he had to run the shower. Then he had to escape through the window. And so Batista, finally came in and he found out he escaped through the window. So he leaves. He gets some clothes on the way to New York City. And so he on the way to New York City. Now, Uma Thurman, I got to figure out what's going on with Uma Thurman. But Uma Thurman drops off a invitation to someone's apartment, okay? I don't know. I don't even know what's going on with her, okay? But we'll find out in the next episode. But yeah. So Uma Thurman, we don't know who she is and why she there. So, but it will be revealed later. So Dexter makes it to New York City and he sees Harrison at the hotel. Okay. That was it. Okay. So that was the first episode of Dexter Resurrection. So I have 2 more episodes that I need to review. But this is the first one, because the episode, it was 1 and 2 came out on the same day. And then it was the 3rd episode. So I will get the 2nd and the 3rd episode to you probably tomorrow. Okay? So this is your girl. Give me a thumbs up. Like and share and comment and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.